outrages, scandals, and lies. Women exasperated by Trump's election ran for office by the hundreds. Others volunteered, raised money, or protested. In whatever role they played over the next 4 years, volunteer, activist, candidate, donor, protester, women refused to allow Trump's presidency to become the new normal. At the same time the grassroots opposition was sprouting, key women power players in the Democratic Party started to pick up the pieces after a devastating loss, infuse their organizations with new purpose, harness the energy from the grassroots, and deploy their fundraising dollars and expertise to dislodge Trump. They channeled women's anger over the confirmation of Justice Brett Kavanaugh in 2018. Their outrage over southern states' abortion bans, their horror over the grotesque mistreatment of migrant families and children, their indignation over the constant assaults on democracy, and their grief over the passing of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg in 2020 into a defiant movement to deny Trump a second term. Meanwhile, in some corners of the Republican Party, lifelong conservatives were mortified that the party of Abraham Lincoln had united behind someone whose character and views represented a repudiation of everything that had attracted them to the GOP. To the shock of anti-Trump Republicans, fellow members who had once extolled the GOP as the party of ideas countenanced Trump's hostile takeover of the party, and worse, began to rationalize and defend his noxious views. Many craved access to Trump's administration and sought jobs in an executive branch led by a dangerous narcissist. While the Republican Party devolved into a cult of personality, millions of American women, both Democrats and Republicans, aghast at the 2016 election results, set out on a personal and political journey that began even before the Women's March on January 21, 2017, the largest single day of protest in American history. Democratic women not only ran but triumphed in the 2018 midterm House races. Republican women did the same in 2020. Women candidates joined the presidential race, battling persistent media bias and gender stereotypes, and confronted many less qualified men on the debate stages. Hillary Clinton had not been the last woman to compete for the presidency, but the first for a major party. Her losing candidacy benefited the more politically adept and diverse women candidates who followed her, and enabled the election of a barrier-breaking woman vice president in 2020. The Trump era was a time of a personal triumph and political awakening for many women, and the birth of a mass movement largely headed and fueled by women. It scrambled many women's assumptions about people on the other end of the political spectrum, forged new friendships, and encouraged the formation of new networks. Women reinvigorated the Democratic Party and threw the Republican Party back on its heels. The political storm that gained steam over 4 years proved as powerful as the women's movement of the 1970s and as consequential as the 1960s civil rights movement. Trump's shocking victory provoked millions of women to elevate the importance of politics in their daily lives, to the extreme detriment of the party Trump took over. Women's political involvement soared, and their partisan identification shifted in dramatic ways, affecting the composition of Congress, the makeup of the parties, and the language of politics. Ironically, Trump prompted many white women to prioritize gender over race. His election added impetus to political organizing among Black women, long the backbone of the Democratic Party, and among Native Americans. In the aftermath of Trump's defeat, we can now fully appreciate how millions of women transformed their own lives and recaptured our democracy from the clutches of an authoritarian bully. Defeat is an orphan, the saying goes, but victory in this case had millions of mothers. Their story is what follows. Part 1. From Dejection to Elation.